record and get us live on Facebook. It is 5:30.
Oh, already. Okay. Okay. Well, good evening and welcome everybody. This is our last in our series for our small business training. We're so excited to have everybody here tonight, and we have a great speaker for this evening as well. So we're happy to have Toni Harris-Taylor here with us. For those of you that aren't familiar, or this may be your first time here, the Center for Women Entrepreneurs was funded by the state legislature just to help promote women in business anywhere in the state of Texas. And we do that through small business advising, funding, training, and networking events. And we also fund research into women in business, women entrepreneurs. So I'm Tracy Irby. I'm the director of the Center for Women Entrepreneurs. And we have Donalisa Stinyard here, our program coordinator. She's going to take all the questions for this evening. And I always like to go through and introduce our grant winners. And then Toni, you can drag them into, I always like it when I'm speaking to know what business people are in. So we'll start with, let's see, Laura couldn't be here. Kelly, I don't know if I saw, yes, there you are. You want to introduce yourselves, or do you want Deborah to do that? Either one of you is fine. You're on mute.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm Deborah, and Kelly and I partnered to open an online shop for cards and fine art prints. And all of our products are created by either Kelly or myself. So it's based on original artwork. We have limited edition prints and open-ended print runs. And we're excited to get started.
Great, we're so excited for you guys. All right, the next one, you know, but we still want her to introduce herself and her business, Marquita Samuel.
Good evening, everyone. Again, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Marquita Samuel, and my business is, what is the name of it? Okay, Your Business, there you go. I was like, because I always mix up the website with the thing, Your Business Assets. Nope, digital business assets. See? I'm like, the website is yourdigitalbusinessassets.com, and we help women entrepreneurs create stylish and beautiful templates for their business, like proposal templates, workbooks, cards, those type of things that you need. My business partner is Lisa Alexander. She's down there tonight on the call as well, and we're just so thankful to be able to equip and empower women entrepreneurs for success.
Great, thank you. Kendra, I saw you in here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kendra Outlaw, and I'm the owner of Atmospheric Home Staging. We are a Dallas, Texas-based home staging company. So we work with real estate agents, homeowners, investors, and builders here in Dallas to prepare their homes for the real estate market.
Great, thank you. Jamita?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jamita Machin, the president and CEO of the Software Vault in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We are a boutique software technology firm that caters to startups. We make their dreams a reality and get them their first round of funding and beyond.
Great, thank you. Jamila? I see her in here. Jamila? I'll come back to her. Amy? Melton?
Hi, everybody. My name is Amy Melton, and I have a coffee trailer called The Mug. And even though it's a trailer, it's pretty much in the same spot all the time. So it's a little drive-through coffee stand, if you will. And we're in the next few months, hope to launch the travel mug, which will be a traveling little coffee trailer where we can do events and go to schools and things like that. Yeah, and we're parked by TW. Kendra's laughing out loud. She's all happy. Yeah, but we're in Denton, Texas, and we're by TWU. So yeah.
Great, thank you. I don't see Felicia. I don't think she is here. And I haven't seen Erica. Okay, all right. So that is everyone we have right
Here,
now.
Tracy.
Oh, there you are. Oh, I thought you weren't going to be here. So here's Laura. Introduce yourself then, Laura. I'm glad you could make it.
Well, that was my email to you. I have a loved one that's in the hospital with COVID, and we're waiting to hear from the doctor's office if they will be able to move to rehab or not. So I may have to drop off but for the moment, I'm here. And my name is Laura Hayes, and my business is The Learning Bridge. And we are a education consulting business. So we work with school districts and nonprofits and governmental agencies on curriculum, instruction for schools, closing the achievement gap, and training teachers and administrators.
Okay, great. We're so glad you're here. We have such a great winner. So, well, let me introduce then our speaker for this evening. So Toni Harris-Taylor is an entrepreneur who has learned the art of sales and marketing and teaches her audience to take drastic steps to grow their business to get drastic results. If you want to learn proven strategies that create drastic results, then you're in the right place. Toni, welcome. We didn't lose her, did we?
No,
Nope.
I'm here.
Oh, there she is.
Number one statement for 2020, you're on mute. So, good evening, ladies. Thank you so much, Donna, Lisa, and Tracy, for the opportunity to speak to your esteemed group again. This is my third session in as many months, and I'm just grateful that you see value in what I have to speak about to put me in front of your peeps one more time, and they saved the best for last. I'm just saying. Yes. So who's ready to have a good time tonight? This is not a bump on the log kind of presentation where you just get to listen. No, you get to participate. Everybody open your chat and tell me, what is your biggest marketing challenge? What's your biggest marketing challenge? And if most of you are like me, you are everything in your business, right? You're the janitor, you're the accounts payable, accounts receivable, you're the secretary, right? We're everything. So getting it all done, Wendy, yes. And by the way, I have some special guests in the house, Tracy and Donna Lisa. I'm doing a program with Live Fun, and I invited all of those ladies to come. So I see about 7 or 8 of them here tonight to introduce them to you at TWU. So thank you all for showing up. And then I see some of my old friends, Marquita, not old in age, old in time. Marquita and Lisa, put your video on, girl, so I can see your face. Lisa and I, in 2017, did a program together. We did Doing Business in Your PJs for women with home-based businesses. And that was in 2017. And honestly, I don't think I've seen her since then. That's a shame. So I'm so glad my friend is here. Okay, so let's get this. Let me see what you all have written here. All right, not knowing where to start, Patty, and what to focus on for best results. A consistent message, Amy, and regularity, right? Not talking about going to the bathroom, right? We're talking about, okay, very good. Developing a marketing strategy, Jamita. Making myself known, Marcia. Marcia, your name looks familiar. I'm not sure if we know each other already. Getting new customers for new business, yep. managing a schedule to be consistent with newsletters, social media. There's so much out there. It's like, do I do blogs? Do I do social media? What exactly do I need to do? Create a sales funnel. Do I need a funnel that incorporates a social media marketing and analytics? There's a lot for us to do when it comes to marketing. So tonight, I'm going to give you some of my top 4 strategies. There's a lot of strategies in my programs, but I'm going to give you the top 4 to get you known, get you connected, and get you paid. Who, just by show of hands, who wants to get paid? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right people, because if you ain't trying to make more money, this talk is not for you. All right, well, can you see my screen? Thumbs up. Awesome. So the name of the talk is Drastic Steps Marketing, Magnetically Attract Clients for Drastic Results in Record Time. The word drastic is my word. I actually trademarked Drastic Steps. When I was branding myself and working with my branding coach, he asked me my story. And I told him my story at that point. And he's like, oh my gosh, you've taken a lot of drastic steps to turn your life around. And that word drastic stuck. And to this day, when the word drastic comes up, people think about Toni Harris Taylor. So tonight, I am going to tell you some things that are going to feel drastic. You're going to be like, Toni, say what I got to do? What? But I'm going to tell you, these are the things that have taken my business global and have helped me to help my clients take their businesses global. So no matter if you have a local business, most of us have at least a national business, or you have a global business, these are some strategies that can work for you. So let's get started. So the problem is this. Most entrepreneurs are struggling to attract their ideal clients. Hands up. I can see y'all, by the way, right? We're struggling to attract our ideal clients. And that's what we want to do. We want to attract them. We want to go out and tell them who we are, what we do, and they say, me, right? It's not quite that easy, but there are some things you can do to make yourself attractive to your clients. Now, I'm on Zoom. I'm in my office by myself right now. Did I have to put on makeup to be with y'all? Did I have to put on earrings? Did I have to be jewelry? It's because I want to be attractive to you. I want you to hear my message and not be focused on, oh, she looks a hot mess. Why did she come here and she didn't comb her hair? Y'all been on those Zooms where the speaker looks a mess and you're like, what? Well, looking good is part of being attractive. Looking good in business, your branding, your speaking, your networking is part of being attractive. So those are some of the things we're going to talk about. Your energy. Number one compliment I get is, girl, what are you on? Because your energy is through the roof. And I don't even take vitamins, Lord. And so, some of it's natural, but some of it's excitement because I know what I know, and I know what I teach changes lives. So imagine what your business would look like if you could easily attract your ideal clients, fill your pipeline so that you could close more sales. Just imagine what that would look like. So we're going to talk about the strategies to help you get there. So a little bit more about me. I own a couple of businesses. I own Network in Action, Northeast Houston. I bought that franchise in September 2019. The best business decision I've ever made for my business and my life, and now for my clients' life. So I connect business owners to help them build relationships that ultimately changes the trajectory of their business and ultimately their life. And then Drastic Results Training Solutions, which is my coaching brand. So so who do I help? I help service-based entrepreneurs who hate sales. Usually that's women. I work with men as well, but women hate sales. Anybody? Hands up. I know you're here. Because I hated sales until I learned the strategies that it took to be a good salesperson and doing edu sales, right? I educate, which leads to sales. So service-based entrepreneurs is who I specialize in helping. And that's to define that speakers, coaches, authors, financial professionals, people who sell a service versus people who sell earrings, right? That's a product. If it's glimmery and shiny and you're gonna buy it, that's not my people. People who need to sell on relationships, that's who I serve. They want more clients, more income, more security. They want to sell without being salesy. Right now, and some of you said this, they feel unknown. They feel overwhelmed by everything there is to do to market themselves. They feel invisible in spite of all they're doing. People still don't know who they are. And another problem with women, not charging what they're worth. Trust me, I struggle with that myself. And until I got coaching to change my mindset, right? I was struggling with charging with what I was worth. And it's not our fault, right? We have to get help to be able to turn things around. And so I was able to get help, and it helped turn my business around drastically. So I teach my clients how to speak more to sell more, how to attract clients through networking, follow up. The fortune is in the follow-up. And most of us refuse to do it because we're in our head about it. Follow-up is drastic. But I will tell you, none of the strategies that I teach work if you're not willing to do follow-up. So follow-up is key, and I teach you how to get out of your head, get into your heart to do follow-up. I'm going to tell you some stories about that. What people say about me is I'm an awesome mentor. I share my connections and my resources. My strategies work, and I inspire them to take drastic steps. I'm an international speaker and an international coach. Right now, I have 3 clients in Canada and 1 in Paris, all from Zoom. I run multiple 6-figure businesses, and I'm a certified life and business coach. I have a gift for you. Who likes gifts? Hands up. We're in the gifting season, right? We like free gifts, especially when they're good. This one's great. So pull out your cell phone, please. All of you have it right there. So pull out your cell phone and open a new text message. And you're going to text the word drastic to the phone number 22828. So in the phone number space, put in 22828. Put in the word drastic, hit send. It's going to come back and say, put in your email address. Uh-oh, I'm having a summer right now. You see that? It's going to say, put in your email address. And when you do, check it twice. Make sure autocorrect didn't do anything to it. And then you're going to get a video series before I'm done called Networking Strategies to Turn Your Contacts to Contracts. And this is a video series, right? So this is one of the things that I teach my clients. You always have to have a way to get people on your list, right? You got to have a way to get people on your list. And this is an easy way. I use Constant Contact for this in case you're wondering. And once it's set up, you set it, you forget it, and it will automatically, every week. Let me see, I'm adjusting this light because it's bright in my eyes. Can y'all still see me okay? Every week for 8 weeks, you're going to get a video from me. And that's a strategy where I've added thousands of people, just like I've just added at least 8 out of 10 of you right now. So Drastic to 22828. Donna Lisa, can you please put some of this stuff in chat for me, please, as my note taker? Thank you. So wonderful. Next. I got a clicker. I miss the days I stand up in front of a group with a clicker. So I said, tonight I'm bringing my clicker so I can be big. Okay. So here's the problem with small businesses. Unfortunately, the failure rate is high. So I hope my clicker works. I haven't used it since March. So the first thing is most businesses fail in the first year, 21.5%. Second year, 30% of businesses fail. Fifth year, 50% of businesses fail. By the 10th year, 70% of businesses fail. I'm super excited. In April next year, I will be in year 10. And I am so happy that I have not failed. Trust me, I've thought about quitting many, many times. Thank you, Marquita. Thank you for because it is not easy. Let me say this about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the hardest thing you can volunteer for next to marriage, kids, than entrepreneurship. Are you crazy? Go get somebody's job and get a regular paycheck and work 40 hours, not 90, but maybe a paycheck, right? So I get it. It is hard. And when you don't learn to master the sales and marketing piece, you will go flat out of business. I got to say that again. If you don't understand how to market and sell yourself, marketing and sales is the blood of your business. And if you don't learn how to fish, you'll be out of business and you will starve. And so it is my mission to help, especially women, because we get in our head about selling, to understand that if you don't want to be a statistic, you have got to learn to sell and market. So this talk's for you if you're frustrated because you are not attracting your ideal prospects. This talk is for you if you want to sell without being salesy. This talk is for you if you're overwhelmed and frustrated because you're not making the money you know you deserve. And this talk is for you, and for ladies, this is a big one. You need to prove to your family, your spouse, that they were right to support you. Because he's asking you when you're gonna make some money, right? We spending a lot of money, we ain't making no money. I'm sorry. I had a flashback. Anybody else, or am I by myself? Right? So we need to prove to our spouse, to our family, that they were right to support us. So tonight, you're going to discover my proven strategies to drastically increase your visibility, your credibility, and your income. So you see this image? You see this red marble? Oh boy, I'm on a timer on my lights. Give me a second. You need to be the red marble. You got to stand out. You got to look different than everybody else who does what you do. I love Amy's business, the traveling coffee. I love that. It's beautiful. That's a red marble. It's not just a coffee shop, right? She brings the coffee where you are. I love that. So you got to be the red marble in the sea of black marbles. My question to you is, are you red yet? Okay. All right, so I only have about 30 minutes, 45 minutes in total to tell you everything I can tell you in a very short period of time. And some of you at the end of this talk is going to say, Toni, that was awesome. You're amazing. I got my notes. I'm good. Then some of you are going to say, Toni, that was awesome. That was amazing. I got my notes. What's next? And at the end, I will tell you what's next. But for now, take your notes and let's get going. Here's the 4 strategies, 4 of about 12 strategies to magnetically attract your ideal clients and drastically increase your revenue. Strategy number 1, know your target market. Now, we intuitively know this. We've heard experts say it. If you know your target market, put it in chat for me. So I'm going to go back and look at the notes and see what you all put. But if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt your target market, put it in chat. But if your target market is anybody, somebody, everybody, then I'm going to tell you it's nobody. And here's the problem. When you don't have a target market, you have a lack of marketing, and that means you don't have a good direction. You don't know what path you're on. You don't know which direction to go. And yes, your product might be able to be used by the majority of the world, but you can't market to that. So you must get focused, because otherwise you're trying to serve too many people and you end up serving nobody. And then your material, your website, your marketing material, your blurbs about you, they have no focus. And people can't identify themselves in your marketing if you don't have a target market. So when you get a target market, increases your confidence. You'll be able to serve your ideal clients. You'll be able to sell more at your price because you build relationships within your target market. And then you become the expert for that target market. Okay, so how do you figure out who's your target market? Number 1 thing is, who do you have an affinity for? So I was coaching a financial advisor, and I do a lot of coaching with financial professionals. And this particular advisor she was kind of lost. She's like, well, everybody needs life insurance. Everybody needs a retirement plan. Okay, maybe, yes, okay. But I'm like, but you've got to have a direction. So I said, what did you do before you became a financial professional? She said, I was a speech therapist. Well, that's drastic, right? I said, really? She said, yeah, I was a speech therapist for 10 years. In the school district? She said, yes. I said, do they have organizations that cater to speech therapists? She said, absolutely. I'm actually an ex-member of some. There's your target market, ma'am. Do they need financial help? Do you speak their language? Do you know, that was no pun intended, but that was good. Do you speak the speech therapist language? And do you know their pain points? She's like, yes, could I have a V8? Yes, that makes perfect sense. So now her target market, one of them, she does not all, but one of them is speech therapists. And now her marketing speaks to those groups. Another one is, who can afford you? So I was coaching with another financial professional, and her target market was single mothers. And I thought that was amazing. I said, why single mothers? She said, well, because my mom was single, nobody taught her about finances, and she didn't save any money. I said, you know why she didn't save any money? Because she didn't have any money. Unfortunately, most single moms cannot put a lot of money away in a retirement plan. I said, how about we find your target market who can afford to do business with you, then you go set up some sort of nonprofit and do work with single moms. Make sure your target market can afford you. So just because you have an affinity for them doesn't mean they're the right target market. And then number 3 is, where are your best relationships? Just like the speech therapist example, she still had connections at those organizations. She tapped into those connections, got speaking opportunities, and the rest, as they say, is history. So that's what target marketing will do for you. Now, this is Jackie. Jackie is a realtor. She's in my networking group. She's in my coaching. And Jackie's a realtor. If anybody needs to be the red marble, it's realtors. In Houston, we have 40,000 realtors. So I was like, well, Jackie, she had already set up herself in Montgomery County, which is a small county outside of Houston. So she was already good there. But she said, you know, Toni, sellers need my help. Everybody's talking to first-time buyers. Nobody's talking to the first-time seller. It's like, that's brilliant. Let's do some marketing. Let's go after first-time sellers, and you can get more listing appointments. So Jackie has changed the direction of her business. Will she still take leases and buyers? And yeah, she still does business with them, but her target, that where she's throwing her dart, is at the seller. So I'm going to unmute. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's discuss target marketing. And I'm going to look at your responses if I can get my mouse stack right. Okay, open your line and talk to me. What is this? How is this target marketing conversation landing with you? Marquita, modern women entrepreneurs. Okay, Amy, I had an idea of who my market was going to be, and it's 90% not them. Amy, open your line. Tell me more.
Well, my coffee trailer, can you hear me now? I have these on? Yeah. My coffee trailer is on a super busy intersection that has 80,000 cars a day. So I thought I'm just going to set up there and people will drive in. And I get some of that. Every day I get a new person that's like, oh, I've been driving by for a week and I've meant to stop. So it's growing in that way. But most of my customers are people that live in my neighborhood, which was part of the plan too, because I live here and I work right there and I want that community. And that part of it's been really awesome. But I'm literally standing out front like, why are you like, why are you not? Why are you going down to Starbucks to wait in line for 40 minutes? I'm right here. So when you said that, I thought, I haven't even thought about finding marketing to, I'm just throwing stuff out there and a sign out front like, please come.
So being targeted, neighborhoods, that's a good one for you, right? So that's funny too, or interesting how you thought it would be one thing and it turned out to be something totally different. So awesome. Anybody else want to share target marketing? Let's see. Sabine, and I'm working with Sabine in the Lift Fund program. My target market is not focused enough, doesn't market specifically to my target market. And so I think, Sabine, we talked about this, you know, property managers are one of your targets. Fine, go to Google and search property management associations in Dallas, Fort Worth, and just see what you get. And then there may be some national property management associations as well.
See, I always thought that wouldn't even be my target market. I thought architects, that would be more because they build the properties rather than the associations who manage them. But I hadn't thought about the property managers.
Yeah, property managers are good. Real estate developers are good. Architect associations are good. Go to Google, everybody, and find the associations that cater to your target market, which brings me to point number 2. Strategy number 2, which is my favorite thing to talk about in the whole wide world. Get connected through networking. Networking has changed my life. But I didn't always like networking. In fact, I hated it because I would go to events. That's back when we could, remember when we could go to events? I would go to events, pass out business cards. I would look the part. I'd be nice and friendly. I'd collect a bunch of business cards and I'd wait for somebody to call me. Ladies, remember when we were a little bit younger? Some of you might still be there. And we'd go to the club, It's not safe to go to clubs now, but back in the day, it was safe. We could go to the club. And Mr. Looks So Good was across the crowded room, and he caught your eye. And he sashayed over to you and he said, "Can we dance?" Y'all dance. You go back to the bar. "Can I buy you a drink?" He buys you a drink, and you're like, "Yeah, this feels good." Y'all have a good conversation. He asks you for your phone number. You give him the right one. Y'all know. You give him the right phone number, and there's a connection. He said, "Girl, I'm going to call you. We going to go out." You say, "That is right. I am waiting." Next day, looking at the phone. Is it working? Remember back in the day, we used to have to check and see if it was plugged into the wall. Is it working? Right? Girl, call me. Is my phone working? You never called. Next day after that, you never called. Week later, the buster never called. It's the same thing that happens with networking. We meet people, we have good conversations, there's a connection. "Girl, let's get together, we're gonna help each other in business." And neither one of you ever call. We gotta fix that, right? So get connected through networking. So here's the problem. You're unknown, some of you said that. You waste time and money going to the wrong events with the wrong people, and you don't get a lot of referrals. How do you fix that? You start to learn to network. And I actually, when I would go and pass out business cards and wait for people to call, one day I went to an event, I met a sales and marketing coach like myself. And at that time, I was a financial advisor. And she said, "You're not doing it right." "What do you mean I'm not doing it right? I'm friendly, I look the part, what do you mean?" She said, "Pay me $6,000 and get in my 8-week program and I'll teach you." Whoa. I was like, can we find something else to do? She's like, "Nope, that's what it costs." And I will tell you, I did not have $6,000, but I went to my retirement plan and I got it out. That money was the best money I ever spent on coaching. And I've done many coaching programs. I'm in a great one now because she taught me how to build relationships through coaching or through networking. Now, I'm a relationship girl. I've done all of the assessments, and every assessment comes out, you're a people person, but still I'm afraid of rejection. So I never followed up, and they never followed up with me. So why is networking important? It places you in front of your ideal prospects. So just like I just told Sabine to Google property management associations, well, if that's her target market, you got to be in front of those people, right? It gets you connected, and it helps you build relationships that lead to referrals. So the solution is to learn to network effectively because it creates brand awareness. People know your name. You have the Norm effect. Again, I'm dating myself. Y'all know Norm, right? From Cheers. Walked in, everybody, Norm, right? I actually have the Toni effect. When I walk in somewhere, people know my name. But that didn't happen by accident. I had to spend time, energy, money making it happen. You get more referrals because people know you, they like you, they trust you, and they introduce you to their network. And you get speaking opportunities. So when you learn to network effectively, exponentially, it changes your life. And that's why me buying into Network in Action was so perfect, because it allows me to connect people because I know how it changes their lives. I'm going to share a story in a second. So here's my tip. This is my saying, my quote: show up, be up, follow up to blow up. The key to networking is you got to be there. I bet double the people who are here tonight registered are not here. They didn't show up. They got in their head. Maybe life really happened and they couldn't show up, but you got to be in it to win it. And if you don't show up, you will not be able to be successful. Now, how many introverts I got out there? I get it. Yeah, I know you are. And so I'm going to tell you, I heard another speaker say this the other day. I liked it a lot, so I'm going to rip off and duplicate. You got to put your big girl panties on when it comes to networking. Don't let all of us extroverts make all the money because you and your feelings in your head about this is unnatural. This is where the drastic part comes in. You have got to put on your superhero panties, she said. Put on your superhero panties and go out there and do what Beyonce does. Anybody ever seen Beyonce on an interview? Beyonce is so demure, low key, soft spoken. I believe probably more introvert. But what happens to her when she steps on stage? She flips the proverbial switch and she turns it on. And when she comes off stage, she turns it off. So some of you are hiding behind the camera right now. You're not here. I know you're hearing me, you're listening, you're probably taking notes, but you're not here. Showing up virtually means you got to put your camera on. You do have to put your face on some level, especially when you're going where people don't know you. And you've got to have good energy. That's what the be up is. You've got to flip the proverbial switch, turn it on. It's an hour and a half, and then turn it off. So, you know, and there's a whole lot more I could say about that. And then follow up. If you're not willing to follow up, don't show up. Forget it. Stay at home. Because the whole thing comes together on the follow up. But if you do these things, show up, be up, follow up, you will blow up. Promise. Okay. Got to keep it moving. This is Jamise. Jamise is in my networking group. She's in my coaching group. Jamise hated networking. She didn't know what it was. Her mother would say, Jamise, if you're going to be a business owner, he has an event planning business, you have got to go network. Okay, Mom, she said. She went to Eventbrite and did a search for her zip code. Who was having a meeting in her neighborhood? Jamise showed up, arms crossed in the back of the room. And I always, in my live meetings, I have them get up. We do soul train networking, loud music. It's a lot of fun. And she participated. But when I said amen, she was out the door, right? I get a message from Jamise the next day and said, oh my God, that was the best event ever. And I need you to meet my mother. And my mother lives in Oklahoma and she needs to have an NIA group. And she needs to, you know, and I want in, I'm signing up. She said, I hated networking, but you made it different. So she signed up. She's in my coaching group. She's getting out of her comfort zone, natural introvert, but she wants her business bad. So I had an event in October. It was a virtual event. And when COVID hit, she was all about in-person events. I said, we got to go virtual. She said, people won't pay for that. I said, people will pay for that. She said, okay, Toni, whatever you say, that's drastic. She was my event planner for my virtual event. Then I just talked to her today. At my virtual event, I insisted on one-to-one. So we had a contest, people booked one-to-one. She booked a one-to-one with one of my private coaching clients who's in NIA, but they're in two separate chapters. Long story short, she tells me that she's moving out of her home into an office with this guy because he convinced her. I'm moving into the same office, but he convinced her it was time for her to get drastic and move. I'm even stunned. I know how this works, and I got my mouth open. So one-to-ones, those dates after the connection at the event is what seals the deal. And I will tell you, it's just amazing to watch people's lives literally changing in front of my eyes. Strategy number 3, speak more to sell more. Speaking. Now, some of you introverts are like, oh my God, is she telling me to get in front of people and speak? That's what I'm telling you. Actually, I'm demonstrating it for you right now. I'm in front of my target market. Somebody else put the program together, got you all here. I didn't send out one email or invitation. And I get to tell you my stories. Some of you are going to be attracted to that and want to do business with me, right? So speaking is an amazing way to attract people to you. It solves for invisibility, credibility, and feeling salesy because I get to sell you or educate you. And if you feel a connection, it happens. And if you don't, no skin off of my back. So look at Sabine. Sabine wants to get in front of architects. She could speak in front of architects, and I know she's an introvert because she's probably just shuddering now that I say that. But she could give a talk just like this, a 45-minute talk in front of architects to tell them the latest thing in art culture and why art is so important to the culture of a company and to a brand and why they need to really invest in art and how it makes people feel and emotions, right? Because most architects are men and they don't see it. So she could go in with an incredible message. So why speaking is important? It's instant credibility. See, because Tracy, who runs the program, trusts me. She trusts me enough to put me in front of her people. And so now it's instant credibility on my part because y'all trust Tracy. You trust TWU. You know TWU not going to bring you no junk. So educate without being salesy. So I'm educating you. If you're attracted to me, something's going to happen. If you're not, nice to meet you. You get to turn your mess into your message. All of us have a mess. Lord have mercy. All of us have a mess. Someone could be attracted to your mess. Your mess may be a lot like theirs. And they're like, you know what? I get her. She gets me. I need to talk to her. And then you become the go-to expert in your field by speaking. The other thing about speaking is the marketing strategy that gives over and over and over and over again. So I may get a client through a speaking event. That client refers me to someone, or somebody here may hear me speak and like my style and say, oh, I belong to another group and they need a speaker. And then I get to speak over there and it just snowballs. But you got to get out of your head, get into your heart. Let me tell you about that, by the way. If you truly believe that you are serving people and whatever you do will make them better people or make their business better, make their life better, make them have a good day with a cup of coffee, you are responsible to tell them you're here. And if you don't tell them, the question is, do you truly believe it? And why would you rob humanity, the people that you come in contact with, from being able to change their life, change their business, because you refuse to tell them? Because you're in your head and not in your heart. Child, I can get on the soapbox. I think I just did. So where can you speak? Organizations and associations, local networking groups, conferences, videos, virtual speaking, podcast guests, radio interviews, and Facebook Live is speaking. Writing an article for someone else's blog is speaking. So it doesn't have to be presentations, although it's the most effective way, especially when you learn to do it right. And there's a certain formula I teach my clients to use in order to attract people to them. But there are events going on everywhere. Don't rob the world of what you have to offer because you're in your head and you're saying, I'm an introvert. Flip the switch. Number 4, use technology to stay connected. Technology is key. Social media. How many of you still hate social media? Hands up. You hate it. You hate Facebook. You hate Twitter. Well, Twitter is kind of funky now. It's gotten all political. LinkedIn. I ain't got time for that. Anybody? I don't have time for that. Let me tell you something. Social media keeps you connected. So here's the problem when you don't use social media. People don't remember you. I got a ton of business cards around here, right? I'm not about to flip through those business cards to find what I'm looking for. I don't know why I don't throw them away, right? People don't remember you if you don't stay connected to them some kind of way. You're not showcasing your expertise. This is your social media is the place you can put live videos out there. You can connect with me, right? Donna Lisa, if you put my Facebook in for me, please, in chat, facebook.com, put HTTPS. By the way, whenever you're networking, make sure you put the HTTPS because that'll make the link hot. Facebook.com/Toni Harris Taylor. And you can click the link and connect with me. And then you can go watch the video I just did right before this session about one-to-ones and the power of one-to-ones. So that's my opportunity to showcase my expertise. You're not in front of your ideal clients when they're ready to buy. So that's the problem. Now, you also need email marketing. You need the funnels that somebody mentioned earlier. You need all that. You need text message marketing. You need social media. It deepens the relationship. It keeps you top of mind. It showcases your expertise. So social media tips, use your personal page to build relationships. Oh, somebody just cringed. I felt it. I don't want nobody knowing my business. Don't put it out there then. It's simple. What you don't want people to know, don't post it. People come to me all the time. They say, oh, Toni, you're doing so well. I love your posts. You and your husband are adorable because I've only been married 4 years to this dude. Y'all are adorable. I say, you know, I only post what I'm looking at. All right. I don't post when it is getting on my nerves, right? So, but your personal page is what builds relationships. Because then people see you posting about your cute dog. People see you posting your kids are cute. They're going back to school, anniversaries, all of that stuff. That endears people to you and it helps them remember, oh yeah, I just heard that somebody needed that thing and I remember Toni does that. Let me make an introduction. I did a lot of business from social media, just being myself. Yes, I post about business on my personal page as well. But Facebook doesn't love that. But if you mix it up, right, you do 60% personal and 40% business, you're good, okay? And if you're not asking for money, right? But the money is in Messenger. That's where the real business happens. Going over to Messenger, asking people for virtual dates. So this just happened last night. I have a Facebook group, and I'll put that in chat as well. And I had my new members to the group introduce themselves. And I have a friend, a personal friend from my church, who follows me all the time, and she's never had a meeting with me. So I said, you know what? It's time for us. I went to Messenger. I said, it's time for us to have a virtual coffee. I said, here's my scheduling link. Go ahead and schedule an appointment. She did it right then on the spot. Will she do business with me? I don't know. I genuinely want to help her. One of the things she said is, I need to get my marketing together without breaking the bank. I can help her, but if I can't, I know people who can. I put my group in the chat as well, so you can join my group. But the money is in Messenger. So let me tell you a quick story. It's a personal story. I just told you about my husband. We've been married for 4 years. Let me tell you how I met him, because it's everything I just taught you. So I spent 10 days in a coma 6 years ago, coming up on the anniversary. And my first outing, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. So my first outing was to a Jehovah's Witness party. Yes, we party, we dance. And there were young men lining up the wall as young men do. And one of them I happened to know. So I showed up, and I didn't necessarily feel like it because I had just coming off a serious illness, but I went. And I went up to the young man that I knew and I said, you know, what are you doing here? I didn't expect you to be here. And so then one of the other young men who I didn't know said, you know, he struck up a conversation and he says, you know, I'm looking for a wife. I said, dude, I'm too old for you. He's like, not you. But we want to marry in our faith. So the lesson there is tell people what you're looking for. I said, well, you know, my daughter and her friends, why don't I have a game night? He said, that would be awesome. I said, are you on Facebook? He said, yes. I said, let's connect on Facebook. Here's my phone number. I'll get your number. I'll schedule a game night. I'll get in touch with you. So I did. 3 weeks later, we had the game night. He came. Didn't see anybody he was interested in. It turns out that night after we met, he met a young lady, right? So, but we stayed connected. He came to the game night. We had our date, our networking date. So we went to another room. We were just talking. What are you looking for in a relationship? I was a widow at the time. I'm actually a 2-time widow. I say, I'm a black widow. I'm a black widow, not the black widow. I do not kill husbands. But he was like, what are you looking for if you get married again? I said, well, this, and this, but I'm not really interested. He said, okay. And he left. And I never saw him again except on Facebook. So he'd post something, I'd comment, I'd post something, he commented. And that's another tip. When you meet people networking or meet people speaking and there are people that you really want to stay connected to, comment on their stuff. Facebook will keep them in front of you. So that was May 2015. November 2015, he posts pictures of he got engaged. So that girl he met the night he met me, they ended up getting engaged. So I congratulated him. Then I went to Messenger and sent him a personal congratulations. So excited. See, you got found someone, so happy for you. Well, my husband, who I didn't know at the time, Gary, didn't want anything to do with social media, like some of you on this call. He wanted nothing to do with social media. And his sister took his phone, set him up an account, passed his phone back to him and said, now you're on Facebook. You need to connect with our friends and family. So he said, since I'm there, I'll get connected. Well, he's connected to the girl in the relationship. When he saw their pictures, he called her and said, everybody's finding somebody but GT. He talks about himself in the third person. Everybody finding somebody but GT. The girl turns to my friend and says, who do you know? And because we stayed connected on Facebook, because I had not ever laid eyes on him since May, but because we stayed connected on Facebook, I got the referral to who is now my husband. Everything I teach led me to my husband. It's marketing, it's relationship building, it's telling people what you're looking for, staying connected with them on social media so they'll remember you when they need to refer you. And I couldn't have written that story myself because it's everything I teach with entrepreneurs. And I get a ton of referrals based on that, exactly what I just told you for business. So I hope that inspires you. Even though it's a personal story, it's the truth. And what I'm teaching you works. So here's another testimony of a very successful client. Her name's Muncie Hawkins. And Muncie, when I met her, introvert, extreme, and private. She's an introvert and private. I don't want to be on social media and tell nobody my business. And I certainly am not going to be speaking. Nobody wants to hear what I mean, she was giving me the what for. When I tell you this girl is an international speaker now, she does social media better than me. She had to get drastic. And her business has blown up because she embraced what was uncomfortable and said, what the heck do I have to lose? Got drastic. And honestly, she's amazing. So, show of hands. I can see you. How many of you know you need more clients? Excellent. The TWU has the resources for you. They have some resources and they can help you to get yourself in position to get more clients. But some of you know you've got to get a target market to get laser focused. You've got to get connected through networking. You've got to learn how to turn those business cards, those contacts into contracts. Some of you already know you got a story to tell. You want to speak on other people's stages, right? And some of you know you got to do more with social media to attract people to you. And so for those of you who are thinking, I need more, you have a choice. Some of you put your marketing challenges, your frustrations, so you have a choice. You can stay where you are now, frustrated, overwhelmed, not making the money you desire, having your husband look at you sideways, or you can get some help. You can create a solid target market, networking, speaking, social media, so much more. Write a book. How many of you got a book in you? You know you got to get out. I just released my 6th book in September, right? Write a book, put all that technology in place to make sure that you stay top of mind. You need some more help? I can help. So imagine what your business would look like if you could easily attract your ideal clients, fill your pipeline so you can close more sales. I got to say this again. If you don't get marketing and sales proficient, you will go out of business. So you can schedule a magnetically attract more clients strategy call with me. It's easy. You can go to meetwithtoniharristaylor.com. I'll put that in the chat, or somebody can do it for me. Marquita, you got me? HTTPS, please, meetwithtoniharristaylor.com. Choose magnetically attract more clients strategy call. And I will be happy to talk to you about how I can help you grow your business, teach you how to fish. I don't do marketing for you. I believe that a woman needs to fish for herself so that no matter what she's doing, she can always feed herself. So any questions? I'm going to take questions. I want to give you guys, you want to take a picture of that QR code, it'll take you to my landing page. But it will take a picture of the slide so you'll have my contact information. Then we can do some quick Q&A. Okay, so if you have comments, questions, anything, thank you, Kendra. I appreciate that. Comments, questions, let me please hear it. I mentioned Constant Contact and some social media platforms. What is the scheduling app you mentioned? What other technology tools will you recommend? That's a great question. So Constant Contact is my email marketing. You could go to Calendly. I don't use Calendly. I use something more robust, but it costs more. Calendly.com or timetrade.com to get a scheduling link. That's a critical piece to networking now that we're virtual. Imagine that you introduce yourself, you do your little 30-second, 1-minute introduction, and you say, I've just dropped my calendar link and I just love connecting with fellow entrepreneurs. Schedule an appointment with me. Drop the link in chat, make sure it's hot, so always put the HTTPS, and people will book appointment. Otherwise, why do we show up to this stuff? What's the point of showing up if you're not going to do nothing afterwards?
I have a question, Toni.
Yes, Donna, thank you.
Yes, I did like the fact that that little text thing that you made us do so that we sign up for your lead magnet. So how did you, I have MailChimp, I use MailChimp, and I wondered, how do you connect that text email to your MailChimp to get it into your audience?
So I don't use MailChimp. I think there's an add-on for it, I've heard, but Constant Contact is built into it.
Okay,
So
good.
it's part of their basic package. If
I
you,
just never
anybody
thought
use,
about it.
yeah, it's beautiful. I've
Great.
added thousands, literally thousands of people to my list by doing that.
Yeah, thanks.
Toni, Amy has a question for you. Amy, you want to pop on?
Yes, thank you.
I have a hard time like keeping, like you said, when you make a connection, you want to follow up. I'm very like, I'm a post-it note or put it in my phone. I don't have one place. Do you have a place where you keep connections and follow through and like that kind of stuff that works for you?
So the reason why for me, the Meet with Toni Harris Taylor is so good is because I'm only putting people in who've expressed an interest in meeting with me. So even when I'm networking in person, I'll text them right there on the spot. Here's my calendar link. Go ahead and sign up for a time. And then I get their information in my database.
And that's through Calendly?
Calendly is one,
Okay.
but the one I use is something else. But yes, that would work with Calendly as well.
Okay, thank you.
Because you don't want every single person you meet in your database. Especially, you know, there's some people out there weird. I'm saying I did. But the ones who at least have scheduled a time to talk with you, those are the ones you want.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Other questions, please, please, please. It's your time to ask. And I got a new neighbor back here. Can y'all hear him? Okay, great. No questions? Come on. I know it wasn't that good.
Another one for you. So Toni, how do you repurpose your talks, your videos, your things like that to get them in lots of different platforms?
Yeah, so that's a challenge for me. I do a lot of videos. And so I have an assistant and she will then post them on LinkedIn, Instagram. My assistant happens to be my daughter. If you got one of those, put them to work. So, but yeah, she repurposes some of my stuff, but I'm about to hire a professional social media person. I'm launching a TV show for 2021. I'm super excited. That's what this logo, this new logo is, Drastic Results with Toni Harris Taylor. That's going to be my show. And I'm strategically going to be interviewing people who have a following already. This is another strategy for you, by the way. If you want to get out there and grow your brand, align with people who are already out there. And they'll promote you in their network. Okay. Awesome. Well, I'm going to turn it back over to Tracy.
I got another one.
Oh, Sure,
Do
Doc.
you use I mean, I've got lots of questions. Do you use LinkedIn as a main connection for yourself?
So for me, I like Facebook. Let me tell you why I prefer Facebook. LinkedIn is nice and it's my second, but LinkedIn's too businessy. Facebook, I'm about relationships. So when I'm, Marquita, you and I haven't been in each other's Facebook face in a while, so go comment on something so that'll bring you back up. But let's say Marquita, who I met networking years ago, maybe she posted that there was some wonderful thing happened. She got engaged or got married, right? Then I can congratulate her on that, which opens the door to, hey girl, what are you up to? I'm gonna tell you how I get a lot of my business. Easy thing to do. I'll send people private messages and say, it's been too long. We need to catch up. Here's my link. And then when we catch up, they say, what are you up to? I say, what are you up to? How can I help you? That's a powerful question. What are you up to? How can I help you? They tell me. They say, what are you up to? I tell them, well, I'm interested in that. And next thing I know, I done closed the sale. I just closed the sale with somebody. She commented on my Facebook Live. That's another reason I like Facebook, Donna, because I can be live. LinkedIn's you can do live, but it's some kind of hoop you got to jump through to get there. I haven't got there yet. So this lady commented on my live. It's been 2.5 years since I've talked to her. I said, I went to Messenger. Hey, girl, what are you up to? Let's get on, catch up. Here's my link. She booked it right then and there. Next thing I know, she's the copywriter for my event that I just had in October. I hired her. She just joined my coaching program for cash. All from, hey girl, what are you up to? I haven't talked to you in a while. Let's catch up. Here's my link. And all of a sudden it works like magic. But it's all about relationships, and you do have to be genuinely interested in people and genuinely want to help them as well. All right, I'm going to turn it back over. If you're interested in conversation, schedule an appointment. Let's talk.
That was such great information. Thank you, Toni. There's always new stuff. Every time we hear you speak, that we learn more tips or tricks or ways to connect. So thank you so much. I know everybody enjoyed that. Do you want to mention this is our last night for the small business training course. For our grant winners, I think 5 of you did get paid today. The others should be coming soon. If there was a hiccup or something, it'll take another a day or two for that. So anyway, I'm excited for all you guys. I hope you will continue to come to see some of the things that we have. So you've done this part. You will need to do your business plan. And then after you spend your first $2,500, you need to send me tallied and totaled receipts for everything that you purchased to get that second half of your money. And that's however fast you do it or long. We've had some from last year who haven't even done their second part yet. So if you have any questions though, and again, thank you all of you for being here. We do have a couple things coming up next week if anybody wants to join in those. Next Tuesday, December 8th is our Women Rise. It's from 8 to 9 a.m. Online. It's going to be long-term financial changes and future-facing strategies. There are going to be some tips on working on your goals for 2021. And then next Thursday at 5:30 p.m., we have our fireside chat with corny dog heiress Amber Fletcher. Of course, she's with Fletcher's Corny Dogs. And so you guys are in Texas. You probably heard of Fletcher, so we'd love to have you join us for that. You can RSVP for all of these on our website. You can also find it on social media, the links, etc. Donna Lisa, do you have anything for anybody?
Nope, that's it. We did have somebody asked if they opted in for the free gift, does it come right to their inbox or should they wait a little bit?
So if you are on Gmail, it might be in the promotions. And if you haven't gotten it by now, put your email in chat because it might mean, or you can private chat me your email. Here's another tip. May I give another tip? I forgot. When you're networking virtually in Zoom, you can right click on the person's video you want to private chat and hit chat. And then you should be able to send them a private chat. So you can just send me your email privately and I will send it to you directly. But check promotions if you're in Gmail.
If you used, I did see that you put in there your school email. I would try a personal email versus an EDU. That might be one of the things. And then we did have somebody from Facebook wanted to know how to get in contact with you, Toni.
The best way is to go to my scheduling link, but I will put my phone number in as well. Hold on, and Toni Harris Taylor, 713-387-9273. And again, it's HTTPS. There you go. And save the chat. Here's another tip, especially when you're literally networking and people have gone around and introduced themselves and they put their contact information in chat. Click the 3 dots in the bottom right corner, hit save chat, and then that will download the chat. You can only do it when you're on a computer, so try to join on computers. But then what you do is you go through, if you didn't get a chance to schedule an appointment with them, you text them right away. Hey, we just got off this call. I love what you had to say. Can we have a connection? Here's my calendar link. Here's my calendar link. And I'm telling you, it works.
Okay, great. Always more good tips. So I hope everybody learned from that. Again, Toni, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you on. Everybody else, thank you so much for being here, and we hope to see you again soon.